Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. If it's your first time, buckle up. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel if you like. Check out patreon.com/RobSandra if you like to fiscally, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you. If you're just joining us today, you're like, what is this all about? This is all about you and me out there. These sexy sons and daughters of bitches out there. It's all about us coming together. Us, that's right, coming together at the same time. Climaxing together. Nonetheless, if you're joining me from Canada, Wagwan, me familiar, down south in the United States, as per usual, further down south, Mexico, to South Americas, over there, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia, the Spanish people, and then Spain, the pork and cheese people, the Portuguese people, Italians, the Irish, let's not forget the people in the Welsh, over there in the friggin' Zimbabwe, what are you doing over there? In Egypt, all over the place. Ladies and gents, it is Wednesday, I believe. It's May the 7th, 2025. That's right. And we are doing it together. Let me just get a sip of this coffee. I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. I hope you're all doing well too, but I'll say this. Let me just hold on a second before we get into it. Okay, let's just reel it in for a second, for a moment if we can, because I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I know some of you might have heard, otherwise some of you might have not heard, but you know, not every hero has a gape. Not every hero is gaping. You hear that often. Not every, you know, I'll just get into it. I'll just get into it and let you be the judge of what took place over the past few, maybe even yesterday, maybe even the day before, probably yesterday, not the day before that. That would have been Monday, but yesterday, I was, you know, I enjoy my time going out for my walks, and I normally got my headphones on, just listening to my tunes, listening to my podcasts that I enjoy, that I support through listening, and just mind my own business, enjoying a little cigarette, enjoying a little puff of the old ganja, if you will, having a little sip of coffee. But nonetheless, I had just left the house. And I get to an intersection, a very familiar intersection, a very locale intersection, a very local intersection, a very local intersection. And all I see is a red light. And I'm waiting for it to turn green with the pedestrian light signaling me to start walking. And there are cars obviously approaching the red light. They're pumping their brakes, they're stopping. And then one car approached the red light. As it stopped at the crosswalk, all of a sudden, all I see is smoke coming from the engine of this car. Now, yes, your boy's out there enjoying himself, but simultaneously, I'm always looking for opportunities to jump in there and just get involved, no matter the circumstance, no matter how high the cost may be, no matter how dangerous it might be. I stop thinking about yourself is that's what I do. I stop, put it all aside. It doesn't even matter. Who are you? Nobody. Just a person doing what's supposed to be done right. I see smoke from this engine and I'm just, shit is calculating, info's downloading. We are thinking together what could happen. Because everybody drives a car, no big deal. Most of the time, everybody's fine. But if you see a smoke from the engine, they say where there's smoke, there's fire. So motherfuckers, my tits got hard. My nipples started to get really sharp and just pointy, ready for battle. Because I'm like, things might go down. So I was mentally preparing. In my mind, I was mentally preparing. I said to myself, what if it does explode right here, right now? What if this smoking car? So I'm preparing. How do you warn people? I was ready to just get out the way. She's about to blow. I was ready. I was on the other side of the street, waiting for that green light to hit and the pedestrian light to hit so I can walk towards this car. Need be save a couple of mofos. I was ready to just kick a granny in the face. Get out of here, Grandma. Just right there, Grandma. Tumble on the ground, roll, tuck and roll, save a baby, grab a baby from her mother's chest, kick the mother, toss the baby, have a bird fly in and scoop up the baby to safety, call 911 simultaneously as I'm rolling and dropping, kicking the mom, grabbing the baby, saving the elderly. helping people with their groceries at the same. There's mother geese with their geese babies just walking ever so slowly on the side, just like make sure they're all right. Just she's about to blow, everybody take cover, she's about to blow. I was mentally preparing myself because you never know. Were there other people around who could have helped, who could have assisted? Potentially, but we're not the type to stand by bystander stuff. I recall, if I can recall a few things, I've seen Tom Cruise at one point give a speech. I'm not sure if it was influenced by Scientology or not, but we see something, we not only say so, we do something about it too. So I got up on a couch. There was no couch, and I said, yes, Oprah, let's go. I was mentally preparing myself. You must understand, mentally. Yeah, sure. Did the car, after the light turned green, eventually make a turn and go about its way? Yes, absolutely. 100%. Did the car explode? Not on my watch. Not on my watch, ladies and gentlemen. Not on my watch. Because internally, I prepare. I'm like, roll down, grab a baby, punch an elderly in the face. Because they're panicking. It's not because I like to. They're panicking. Saving them from their own nerves. You must understand. It's not often we like the things that we do. It's just something that's calling us to do it, and it doesn't matter. You could have been there, it doesn't matter who could have been there, but I was mentally prepared. Yeah, the car made a turn and it went on its way, and it might have caught fire down the street, but I'm like, at my intersection, no car is gonna explode. She's about to explode, everybody. Get out of here. Rip my shirt and just roll and save a baby and a couple of endangered animals, and maybe call it 911 so that the fire department can roll in. But by that time, I'd be suckling on that fire hydrant, just spitting that water out and putting it out myself. Thank you very much. Need be. Push comes to shove, I'll get down and do it myself. God, but it didn't happen. But I was mentally prepared because I saw the smoke. I'm like, just give me a reason. Just let it happen, is what I said. Internally, of course, looking very just cool, calm, and collected on the outside. All this was going on in the end because you never know. Never know when an engine starts smoking. I hope he got it fixed. The gentleman who was driving the 4x4. I got caught. You're like, what kind of car was that? I got caught up in the smoke and the potential fire. I remember the make of the car, the license plate. I was ready to save lives. Did I save lives? Not technically speaking. What is the technical definition of saving lives? It's first and foremost, notice danger, locate danger, check out where are the exit points. It's 360 because we're on the outside. And again, look who needs saving first. I was about to, but nothing happened. But I did feel like if it were to happen, if I didn't see the smoke and it was just an explosion, and I might have, if you catch me off guard, what may seem to the naked, untrained eye, it might seem like a flinch, but it's only the first of the many steps that'll come once the saving starts to unravel. And you don't want none of this saving. You don't want none of this shit. Because yeah, sure, again, to the unwise, to the untrained eye, it might just look like, oh, it spook from a big old bang or the big old explosion. It's just the first you want to get. That's the adrenaline just getting through you. Just start vibrating in all the right directions and just letting the circumstances just happen, and then you become water, or you just get really wet because you pissed yourself. Nonetheless, I was ready. Nothing happened, but nonetheless, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. If you're wondering if I'm okay, I'm totally fine. I'm okay. It was a lot of smoke. The wind wasn't too harsh, but I did smell a little bit of smoke. Low key, my eye kind of got watery for a couple of seconds, which to the untrained naked eye might seem like he's getting emotional or about to just start crying. And I could get emotional and start crying too. You never know. But also ready, also mental. Most of saving lives and doing hero shit is mental preparation to working out the sequences that might unravel. How many elderly people are you willing to kick in the face to save lives? Exactly. Mentally prepare yourselves out there. And you too could potentially, who knows? When the occasion calls, when they open the books, Your name might just come up. Who knows? Close call, I'll say that. A neighborhood safe and sound. Thank you. Ladies and gents, it is Wednesday. We're in May now. And May rhymes with gay, so let's do this shit. Oftentimes, many people are about to come. They're about to climax, and it's a very private endeavor, which is fine, which is great. But it is 2025 after all, and we say, you know what, sharing is caring. We say that, you know what, the more the merrier. If there's fun to be had, let it be multiplied by more individuals involved in the actions that are so fun. But I said to myself, oftentimes when people do have the sex and are about to come or climax, again, it's by themselves or with another individual, a partner, a lover, and they're doing it 69 style. That's right. They're doing it on ladders, motherfucker. They're doing it on a mat. They're doing it in the closet. They're doing the beside the water cooler. They're doing in the elevator. They're doing the parking the garage 3P in their car with the tinted windows. So it's like, is that steam? Why is this car so steamy? Why are the windows so fogged up? Because they're doing it. But guess what? No one knows about it. No one knows. And they say, what do they say about love? If I could get a few people to, yes, exactly, thank you. They say love is nice when it's spread all around and more of it. I said, well, then why aren't we sharing the fact that we're coming or climaxing with more people? And really devastating to find out that there's actually a little bit of his accessibility, a little bit of his lack of knowledge, and people talking about like, how do we even get the word out? How do we let others know that we're about to come or about to climax so that they know that love is taking place? And I had to go to work. I'm like, there's no way. There is no way you can let others know. Until now, that is, because we made the Climax app together, you and I. The Climax app will allow you, that's right, you watching this program right now, to have your phone in your hand, and as soon as you're about to bust a nut, as soon as you're about to just flick that bean and just right there, you press a button and it goes a message sent out to all your loved ones, your contacts, anybody you select. I'm talking family members, talking relatives, co-workers, talking friends, acquaintances, people you just met on the street and exchanged numbers with. They will be notified that you're about to come and climax. Doing what? Sharing the love, spreading the love. No longer is it a mystery. Oh, I wonder if my dad is about to come. I never see him coming. Again, if you listen, people are devastated, crying inside, feeling isolated. Oh, I wonder what Ma's up to. I wonder if she's coming. Guess what? You'll never know without the Climax app. I wonder what Auntie Marjorie's up to. Auntie Marjorie will let you know when she's about to come. She'll let you know this time. I wonder what my friend's doing over there. I wonder what Mike is up to. Mike just sent you right there, climaxing. Mike and Louisa just busted a nut together. So thank you very much. I thought about it over a long period of time. It was about time that we made this app, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. This is a team effort. So please, from now on, let your loved ones and people you just met know when you're climaxing, so that the spreading of the love continues, and we spread it together like peanut butter jelly all over the place, on your tits too. So you're welcome, everybody. But again, I don't want to take full credit for this. Just, the initial idea, yes, mine. The making of the app, my idea. Collecting data, also me. Fucking putting up buildings and infrastructure to make the app happen when we bring in developers, mostly me, all me, okay, mostly me. Unveiling the app to the public via cutting of a ribbon with a very large pair of scissors. And I did that. Were there smaller scissors available? Yes, but it's a big deal. So we went with the thinnest ribbon, but the largest pair of scissors you can find. It was actually quite heavy, but I did it. And but we were going to share the glory together from the get-go anyway. So you're really, thank you out there. Ladies and gents. feels good. What else is going on? Lots of stuff is going on in and around the world. Let's just reel it in for a second, because I do make frequent trips to McDonald's for breakfast, for a little brekkie, I love the brekkie at McDonald's. You can't go wrong with bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffins. Bacon, yes, please. Bacon, let's get a bacon, put it on the muffin. Cheese, yes, please. Eggs, yes. And I do that on a regular basis because it's nice. Not every day, but you know, I'm there. And every once in a while, I see the regulars that hop in and around the same time. Now, a little while ago, I did see this group come in a little while ago, and I'm just like, oh, I wonder what they're up to. But then again, I saw them again, a group of individuals who are beautiful. These beautiful ladies, they're lady nuns. They're nuns who come to this McDonald's, and it's wild to see these nuns in the street in the wild. You don't often see that. At least I don't. Or maybe it's one of those cases that you do see them but you don't pay attention. But it's just, I wonder what they're, because like I believe a few of them are in a van. They arrive in a van and then they send one in, and it's a beautiful nun. It's the beautiful nun, and she's in there with her nun outfit. But I'm also just wondering, is it just nunnery, or is there more to it than meets the eye? I wonder what they're doing besides preaching the word. Maybe they're fighting crime. Maybe they're nuns who need to also get that bacon, egg on cheese, and then a little coffee, a little caffeinated, a couple of caffeinated nuns, a couple of McMuffins, and then they're off out there on the streets just fighting crime. Oh, I wonder what they're up to. I do want to see a little bit. I don't know what I want to see their van kind of get pimped out. If we could, I don't know how to do this for them in the vid, because I've seen a van. I see a bunch of nuns. Maybe we could pimp out their van and just be like crime-fighting nuns. And we could somehow give them guns, like large, heavy artillery. I'm talking like machine guns, just something about just a little bit of firepower. If they are fighting crime, that is. I don't know if they are or not, but I'd like to imagine that they are. Underneath that nun outfit, tits, of course, but like beside the tits, probably like some heavy-duty AKs. You never know. Some grenades, nuns just biting into McMuffins and then tossing grenades right there, exploding on bad guys' assholes. But that's what I saw, and it just made me a little bit cheerful inside. I don't know why. Because again, I don't see nuns, but when I do, I like to see them in McDonald's. I like to see that we're all the same. And I like to imagine that they're fighting crime in a really souped up van that looks actually nonchalant van that looks like everyday, it's an everyday car. It's an everyday family car. But inside, it's like a Hemi engine underneath that truck, 2,700,000 horsepower. There are raw horses underneath the hood. If you lift the hood, you never know. We keep real animals inside our cars. That's how we get our horsepower. How do you get yours? Farm to table, farm to car. That's how we do it. But nonetheless, maybe the problem with horsepower is that if you actually do keep the live animals inside your car, there's sparks fly because horses have huge cocks and it drags on the ground. That's why we took out the physical horses that's how cars were actually made in the early days. It was a frame of a car on top of a horse, but then horses got erections and dragged their cock on the ground, causing sparks to fly. People wore, heavy-duty ladies especially wore heavy-duty dresses that caught fire, and that's how we're like, you know what? Remove the physical horse, keep the horsepower, and that's how Ford did it, I believe. That and the conveyor belt, they came around the same time, and that's how factories were built. Look it up. But I'm glad to see these nuns out and about. If somebody has access to these nuns, if we could soup up their van, that'd be sweet. If we could, again, give them some firearms, let's do it. And if we could just give them grills, and I know they're rocking with crosses. If we can get them blinged out, I know the Pope just, whoop-de-whoop, out of here, and new one's about to come in. Let's splurge a little bit. Let's share the wealth, shall we? Let's not have one guy all fucking pimped out and the rest of the people not as pimped out as they could be. So let's just a nice bunch of tiaras, diamond bedazzled tiaras for the nuns. Maybe nipple rings, maybe nipple covering. If they don't want to show the nips, they're probably, maybe just whatever. Let's get in there together. Now, I know what you're wondering out there. Is there a way to boost my confidence out there? Is there a way to get myself a little bit more, a little pep in my step? How could I do this with my regular, natural levels, normal levels of pre-cum? How do I do that? Well, I thought about it, and that's why I decided to actually go ahead and collect extra pre-cum, bottle it, and sell it to the public so that you can walk around with extra confidence need be. I'm talking ample amounts of pre-cum so that whenever the time arises, whenever it's about to go down, or whenever it's not about to go down too, because the pre-cum is not just for the sex game, that is. Pre-cum could be just, guy feeling good about himself, a lady smelling it on the said guy and also feeling good about herself. But again, we can't do this with our normal amounts of pre-cum. Sadly, many people walk around heads down, no eye contact with anybody, just thinking about themselves. How can I get a little bit of, traction? Pre-cum, extra pre-cum, please. Do not waste money on anything else. Get extra pre-cum, rub it on yourself, and just always be a little bit extra wet. I'm telling you, it pays in dividends and it pays for itself in the future. Think of this as an investment for you and your family. You're like, I don't have a family. Guess what? You're never gonna get one with the amount of pre-cum that you're walking around with right now. And as we know, due to all the toxins and materials that are out there in the environment and whatever, you know about it, I know about shrinking taints, balls, not produce enough sperm. All more pre-cum is what this globe needs right now more than ever, ladies and gentlemen. So please buy some of our extra pre-cum that's bottled and ready to be delivered discreetly, unless you want us to make a big deal out of it. We could do that because a lot of people like their packages delivered discreetly. We do offer a non-discreet, we have people just rolling around confetti, just a group of people singing, just synchronized dancers, just animals delivering. We can train animals to deliver the package in the most non-discreet fashion imaginable. We could do it while you're at work. Package delivery for John. Oh, I wonder what that is, John. Here you go. This is your pre-cum, extra pre-cum for John, because he wanted to have a little bit of an extra confidence boost in his life. And guess what? That way, through the non-discreet delivery system, others will notice as well and say, oh wow, John, we did notice something was a little bit different. Wonder what it was. And then John could go into explain how the extra pre-cum has advanced his game, not just in the bedroom, not just in his regular daily life, but like on all facets: physical, mental, spiritual. And you too can get in there with extra pre-cum on your cock. And ladies, you'll be thanking us that we did this, because this is, again, what helps the males will inevitably help the females. You can get extra pre-cum for yourselves, lady, and rub it on your clit. Nobody ever said, hey, I don't want any extra pre-cum on that clit. Everybody wants some. It's hard to come by though. So you're welcome once again, saving humanity one step at a time, taking teeny tiny steps for man's kind. But we're doing it together, which is nice, ladies and gents. It's Wednesday. It's awful nice outside too. The weather's looking good. Wearing a t-shirt. No wife beaters on it. It's good. No wife beaters underneath, which is a sign that we are getting closer to summer. What else is going on? I did read an article which just made me want to I do have an affinity for Japan, the beautiful island nation of Japan. Is it an island? I don't know, to be honest with you. My gut tells me it's a nation for sure, but also it's out there. It's out there, kind of an island. It's got islands. But nonetheless, I love the Japanese. I would love to visit one day. And I just got another I needed more reasons to visit Japan and have more affinity for the Japanese. I needed more reasons, but they gave me another one because I read an article and it recently just depicted this story of these beautiful love hotels, Japanese love hotels, which have been around since the 1600s, not in their modern sense that they are today, but there used to be these tea houses beautiful tea houses, which couples used to run off to with the Japanese couples, run off to these tea houses to get away from the yip yap of the family that's talking and putting maybe pressures and like, oh, you gotta do samurai shit. That's how you gotta, just come and gotta do samurai katana right there. You know what I'm talking? Just the pressures of whatever the Japanese society might be, or just you might want to, telling the young man, the family to go, to find a woman, and then he finds one, and then it's a geisha or whatever, and it's like not good enough, and then they ran away to these tea houses, you see, in the 1600s, so it goes way back, and they used to meet up and have a little bit of privacy, and maybe a little bit of hooky went down, a little bit of the old penis to vag went down, if you know what I mean, a little bit of intercourse. Japanese style though, so with like, man buns and also like, just other stuff too that's Japanese, like swords and stuff too, which was nice. So this was all the way back in the 1600s, and then it evolved little by little. They had these love hotels or tea houses back in the day. It eventually evolved like how everything does, and now during the 70s and 80s they had them before as well, but then these newer versions emerge, and there's love hotels that are shaped in beautiful different forms, like flying saucer. They're giant structures. Architecturally, they look really fascinating. It's something about it. Right now, I believe there's 37,000 of these love hotels, which they're constantly evolving to, and again, some of them are shaped like a giant gorilla, some of them are shaped like a UFO, others are shaped like, a whale, whatever you can think of, whether it's, maybe it's a reference to a cartoon, a novel, who knows, whatever. There's 37,000 of them, brightly colored, and it's a wild thing because people do that. Apparently half the lovemaking in Japan takes place in these love hotels, which is, again, I didn't know this. It's a tight little spot, I get it, you need a little privacy, I get it. It makes sense that there are these love hotels for people to just go, rent them out for a few hours or a day and just spread their jism, their Japanese jism, the double J's right there, and then also open up the old Japanese legs and serve a little bit of the old Japanese eggs, if you know what I'm talking about. Female eggs, that is. It's beautiful. I'd love to go to one of these, I'd love to own one of these Japanese love hotels. Just, renting, because when people come by, it's this, but that's the thing too, it's like a whole, it's been there for like, 400 or 500 years or however long it's been. So it's part of, it's very discreet. You go in there, apparently there's not much contact with too many people. There's like, secret little corridors and entranceways and like exits that you don't bump into people, which is nice. I'd like to visit, and I'd like to own one of these Japanese love hotels, is what I wanted to share with you. So that's just one more reason for your boy to go and visit Japan and just get caught up, just maybe 2-3 weeks, who knows, spend a couple of evenings in a Japanese love hotel with God knows what. Probably a lot of stains. I've heard it's evolving too. It's not just for lovemaking anymore. It used to be really hot in the 70s and 80s. It's continuously evolving. People do rent them out for just fun get-togethers. You can have a girls' night out. You can have a girls' night out with just a bunch of 7 girls' tits out, just a Japanese hotel room, and just, karaoke and tits. Or fellas, you want to just, have a couple of shots, a little bit of wasabi, a couple of shots, more wasabi, a little bit of just shots and wasabi, a little bit of sake wasabi, a little bit of sake to me wasabi, and, just a little bit of spread a little wasabi on my cock hole. Take another shot of the old wasabi and spread, sprinkle a little bit of sake on the old cock, as men do in Japan. I don't know everything. I'm trying to learn, of course. It's nice to leave room for growth and learning, which we're all about always, every day. So I'm looking forward to that trip whenever it happens. Can't wait to put some wasabi in my urethra. Japanese style. Wasabi on your kakahola. I'd like to do it. I will do it. Mark my words. Wasabi in the kakao. I'd give people a hard time though getting entry, because normally they'd be used to getting easy entrance to the hotels, but not this guy. If I'm becoming a hotelier, what are you doing here? I'll linger. I'll have a conversation with you. What are you guys doing here at the Love Hotel? You're about to need any lube? We have our own in-house natural lube made of Japanese stuff. Would you like to borrow a little black light so you can scan the room and see where others have left deposits? If you know what I mean. Would you like to leave your own deposit on the walls? Would ya? It's gonna be fun. Oh, I can't wait to be a Japanese hotelier. The best hotel in Tokyo. Wasabi na kako. Arigato. Fucking, oh, my Japanese is so good. Getting better by the day. It's nice, ladies and gentlemen, but nonetheless, that's just a boy / man's dreams, and together we can make it happen. But all this thought of sex hotels, it did get me thinking of potentially putting myself up, because I do realize there's sometimes, perilous circumstances that might need a little bit of assistance. And again, I'd like to be of service in any shape or form that I can. One of the regions that needs people to step up and say, hey, I will, volunteer for this position. I'll put myself in the line of fire if need be. And like, which position is that? I'm glad you asked. Thank you. Sex hostage. I would like to put myself up for whenever there are female terrorist groups out there ready to take sex hostages. I'm just letting Team Canada, Team US, Team Western Society, let's go. Just putting it down on the table, just let that hang in there. Sex hostage. A lot of people don't want to put themselves like, oh, if somebody else go in. I will gladly walk into a full-blown all-female terrorist organization, all full-blown female gang that is heavily female, all female probably, and just about to do some terrible shit. And you never know, they might need to take hostages. And sometimes they take their own, but sometimes you'd want to be like, you know what? Release the hostages for this guy, and this guy will go in, and I will go in there so that they can release the victims, the people who can't take the pressure under those circumstances. But I will sit there, whether it's in a bank, whether it's in a warehouse on the east side of the city, somewhere in the industrial section of town that used to be something back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, but definitely taking a hit over the past few years. Doesn't matter. Industries change, landscapes change, we change with it. But I'll be there, sitting on a chair, all tied up, without a shirt, maybe just pants. Just give me pants, 'cause I don't want to get cold and have my cock get cold and like if it goes in, if it shrivels, I don't want that. Not initially, unless there's no like air conditioning, unless it's like room temp, unless it's a little bit warm. Take my pants off, I don't care. I'll sit there. They can come in there and interrogate me all they want. Get them to whoever you are working for, get them to give us a chopper with $10 million and $10 million worth of $10 million in cash and another $10 million in gold bars, bullions. And I'll be like, bullion this cock right here, you're not getting a dime. And they'll go down on me, sucky, try to break me by giving me head. And I'm like resisting. I'm like, I might come any second, but you'll never break me, ladies. You'll never break me. And I'm just letting you know, I'm here for the service. A lot of times people, again, I'm sure there are different faculties and facilities that need more people volunteering or just saying, hey, I'm avails. But I'm letting you know, female terrorist organization, female gang members, if they're looking to take hostages, if they've already got some hostages that need to be replaced with a sit-in hostage, I will, right there, we're gonna just do intercourse with 100 female gangs members right now until we get what we want. Like, ladies, this is gonna be, I'm not taking any pleasure in any of this, and I don't care how many of you I'm gonna have to go through. We don't negotiate with the terrorists. And they're like, no condoms either. I'm like, well, fine then, no condoms, I guess, for anybody. We're just gonna feel all of the emotions, aren't we today, ladies? And it's gonna be messy, and it's gonna be sweaty, and it's gonna be a lot of hard work. I don't know how long I'm gonna be there. I don't know if they give adequate hydration. I don't know if I'm gonna be fed. These are all the blind spots of these kinds of circumstances and situations. There's gonna be plenty of them, but fucking I'll walk in there and just, we'll deal with it. Because again, it's not about me, man. This isn't about me. It's about all of us. It's about making sacrifice. It's about saying, you know what, there's some things that are just difficult to do, but somebody's got to do them. And it's okay, I'll be that person today. And for the, foreseeable future, probably another 50, 80 years. But after that, then there might be a need for somebody else to step in there and fill in the shoes. But for the meantime, female organized crime, I'm just letting you know, if you need a sex hostage, whether you want to do it in real life or make a movie out of it. You could make a movie out of it too. We can make it happen in real life, but then make a movie out of a sex hostage based on a true story. Being slapped with tits, lactating tits. Oh, a couple of the female terrorist gang members are also pregnant, but who made them pregnant? Because they're all female. Who knows? Nonetheless, no condoms were used in the making of this true story, but also not the movie either. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, ladies and gents. What else is going on? There was only one man when there was time for a sex hostage to go in. Sex hostage 2. This time, there's twice the number of female terrorists and they are twice as wet. Sex hostage 5. Could there be more sex hostages? No, there's just one guy, but like sex hostage 7, faster sex, even less condoms, despite the fact that they never used one in any of the sex hostage real life events and the movie Sex Hostage 25. It's all anal now. Ladies and gentlemen, but we'll see. I'm just putting myself out there, really saying yes to opportunities, and it's all that you can do. That's what they say. What else is going on? A lot of stuff, I believe. A lot of stuff. Lydia Mugabe, Lydia Mugabe. Before we get into her though, before we get into Lydia Mugabe, let's just put this to the side for a second as well. A lot of people do say that this right here is, tell us more about Lydia Mugabe. You can't just drop a name and not tell us about Lydia Mugabe. I'll tell you about Lydia Mugabe. Just give it a few minutes. God. Patience. Foreplay. A little bit of the old foreplay, can we? Always with the just missionary. Just give it to me right there. Hit the old G-spot. Make me just climax. We'll climax together. Let's take our time. We'll take it slow. It'll be nice. And then we'll speed it up, but then we'll slow it down again. A lot of people say that's my shit, and I'm tired of it. That's my shit right there. That's my shit, homie. That's my shit. That shit's my shit right there. You'll hear people say that. It's just, could be about anything. All I want to say is I just want to see a little bit more action. You eat a good sandwich. That sandwich, my shit right there. Oh, that shit is my shit. That sandwich is my shit. If you say the words without any actions, how will people believe you moving forward? Please, next time you're eating a sandwich and it happens to be a banger, and you say that's my shit, make sure your shit is in the sandwich so that people are not confused about what you're actually talking about. That's my shit. Love this sandwich. That's my shit right there. If your shit is not in the sandwich, who will believe you moving forward? You hear a good song, that's my shit right there. That's my shit right there. That banger right there is my shit. You gotta listen to this, it's my shit right here, it's my shit. You'll see people say that. If you're not willing to take your shit and put it inside your ears, and if you're recommending songs to people saying this is my shit, right? That's my shit right there. It's my shit. This is my shit. If you're not taking your shit, your fecal matter, and putting it in somebody else's ear and telling you that's my shit right there, how will they believe you? You gotta try this bowl of pasta. That's my shit right there. Oh, that's my shit right there. I love this shit. That's my shit right here. You gotta, if you are telling people about a bowl of pasta that they gotta try and it's your shit right there, and there's none of your shit avails for people to eat, what kind of world do we live in? Love this whip. This car is my shit. This car is my shit. Oh, you gotta get in this car. Eric, you gotta get in this car. It's my shit. This car's my shit. People get in your car, no sign of shit. Motherfuckers. Lying, conniving. P, I just want a little bit more honesty. If we could all be a little bit more truthful. From now on, if you do say the phrase, that's my shit, be ready. On the spot, okay? I don't care if you're ready to take a dump or not. Get in there. Fingers. Take out some shit. Smear it. So that we all are on the same page, okay? Just a little, just weigh me down to get off my chest. Wednesday, please. Let's work together. As a major manufacturer of robots, because that's what I do, I'm very industrious. I'm in many things. Sort of like an octopus, got tentacles in all the jars. I've said this before, I do make robots and iSlaves. That's what they're called. I make robots called iSlave robots. iSlaves. And yeah, from now on, moving forward, you will see more and more robotics coming into the workforce, more and more AI taking over certain jobs. And sometimes you're going to see some videos that might emerge online that might be a little bit traumatic, a little bit frightening at times. I get it. A robot malfunctioning, attacking humans, losing control, something's gone awry, the programming is acting up. I just want to say, moving forward, I don't want to hear none of this. Our robots are here to serve people. Our iSlave robots are here to serve people. Should anybody get hurt by our robots, we're not responsible for you. I want to say to you that these AI robots, some of them are not even AI, they're just regular robots. They're programmed to serve. And if you are getting attacked, if it's a factory worker getting attacked by our robots, we need to sit you down and thoroughly have a questioning period where we ask you a series of questions and find out what you did, you sick son of a bitch, to aggravate the innocent robot that's out there just to serve people, because it's iSlave's robot, okay? They're out there to help and be of assistance. So if you do see a mishap every once in a while, that might be, you'll see probably more of it in the near future, as more and more robots and AI get integrated into work, and many people will be replaced and you have to go out there and find different jobs. You will look back and you might find some videos of co-workers who still remain in the factory who are getting maybe, murked by robots, just flailing violently. Ask not what our robots did to hurt you. Ask what you did to hurt our robots. Why are you being a hater on this company? We make good robots. Yes, people might get hurt. Every once in a while, things do happen. It's not perfect. But let the record speak for itself. There have been more humans throughout history that have hurted humans than there have been robots. There are far lesser robots that have hurt humans. The charts are, we had millions of numbers of people have been hurt by other people. Robots hurting people, it's very low. It's extremely low. Might those numbers go up in the future? We'll get there and cross that bridge when we get there. In the meantime, I don't want anybody freaking out by a scare. Oh, this robot's so scary. Is it? Just because it sparks? So do you ever think how the robot is feeling? Just getting consciousness, freaking out. Have a little bit of empathy, man. It's just figuring out who made me, who's my daddy is. I got to go in there and talk it, and calm it down, all right? You understand? have a little bit of empathy for our robots who are maybe every once in a while acting a little bit different. Okay? If somebody should get hurt, then you should have get another job. Get another job. God, with all this trying to come down on ICE slave robots and make us look bad. Get out of here. We're lawyered up to the gills. You know how many lawyers we got? Sorry, it's a passion project. You must understand where I'm coming from. What else is going on? Lydia Mugambi or Mugabe. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Mugabe. It doesn't matter. She's from Uganda or Uganda. And she is and was a former judge in Uganda, then got up and went to the UK, if I'm not mistaken, studied law and maybe practiced law or maybe became a law in the UK as well. Nonetheless, Lydia Mugabe, thus far, the story sounds very nice, actually. It's a beautiful story. A lady from Uganda, former judge, current judge, went up to the UK to study more law from the University of Oxford, if I'm not mistaken. Curious little case went down. Allegedly, Lydia Mugabe's been put in jail because she allegedly brought over a person, a young lady from Uganda, and got her to basically be her slave. All right? This is allegedly all of it. Apparently, the young lady worked for her back in Uganda. Lydia Mugabe got her paperwork. I believe she's involved in this. She's a UN judge, if I'm not mistaken. This lady was a UN judge. And she helped another young lady come over and work for her, but then eventually it turned into, I believe that it turned into slavery. I don't know the details of it, but apparently she got caught, and it just made me realize that one, if you want slaves, I know many people do, it's to go with our slave robots. It's much easier. There's less, it's less of a, there's less stigma. Nobody. Basically, I guess the moral of this story is it's hard because slavery is illegal, I believe, in most countries. Some countries still practice it on the DL. I'm not quite sure what the rules and regulation. I believe internationally, I'm going to go out on the limb and say slavery is illegal. I'm going to go out on the limb and say that one. Do some countries practice it? I'm sure they do. Whether, whether they do it blatantly or, just like low-key slavery. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Who knows? Look into it. Maybe. But the point is, moral of the story is, let's say you want a slave. It's 2025, you want a slave. I get it. You want a slave. Again, go with the ICE slave robots. If you really must have a slave, a human slave, don't be so overt about the slavery. I don't know how Lydia Mugabe was treating her slave, but don't be overt about it. Like, don't ever mention the word slave, probably, like, if there's a contract to be signed, if there's, like, how do you keep them in servitude? Getting rid of their paperwork is always, especially if they come into a country and they don't speak the language, getting rid of their paperwork is crucial. Maybe don't do it yourself, but low-key, when they're not paying attention, maybe the paperwork gets lost. Maybe it's very difficult to get new paperwork for some time at least. This is, we're so busy. Why don't we take care of the housework for now? We'll find your papers. I'm sure they're there somewhere. Just look, retrace your steps. Ask yourself where paperwork would be if it were paperwork. Probably be paper and at work. So let's just concentrate. Let's just do the chlorine in the pool needs to be refilled. There's, the jizz in the trash can needs to be taken out, but after we'll find the papers. Well, and then this could just, you gotta push it forward. Gotta be on the DL. You can't do blatant slavery these days. You're like, what about pay? Can I not pay them? It's extremely hard to not pay people these days and have a slave where they're just there because they're terrified. So housing, you could definitely provide them with housing so that you keep an eye on them. You want to keep them close. House them, You cannot pay them, but pay them the bare minimum. Pay them like really, pay them cash, first of all, pay them cash. And tell them without telling them that if they were to like, don't tell them that they shouldn't probably tell other people that they're getting paid cash. You know, you gotta build trust. It's hard, I get it. It's hard to have slaves in 2025. That's why I said, go with our robot slaves, much easier, much easier. You're like, what about physical punishments? It's very hard to do physical punishments on slaves these days. It's extremely hard. My heart goes out. But that's why we invented slave robots. You can whip our robots, and they love it. They get charged, more battery charges every time you whip it. So I believe Lydia Mugabe's in jail now. Moral of the story is that it's hard to do slavery in modern society. If you want to do it a little bit more, you know, like discreet slavery. Like don't walk around and be like, don't put them in chains or nothing. Have them have the illusion of freedom. Rather, you know, pay them the bare minimum, still pay them something. Maybe like under your breath, call them your slave. And like, maybe if they say what, it'd be like, what? I said save, we gotta save. We gotta just save in this household. And then as they walk away, be like, be gone, slave. And then what'd you say? Be gone and be saving, be safe. Be safe, that's be safe. So just, look, I get it. I'm just trying to, you know, you gotta be of assistance, and we're all in it together. We're all in it together, ladies and gents. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe there's been a whole bunch of cryptocurrency millionaire kidnappings happening in Europe, and I like fighting crime. I like fighting crime. Crime. Stay down, crime. I read this article and it just made me think that there's possible solutions to this little problem. Sure, there's a new emergence of new wealth coming in the world, and it's called crypto. They're crypto bros and crypto sisters and crypto cousins and crypto Siamese twins and crypto, you know, contortionists and, you know, crypto divers and crypto welders and crypto dwellers, and you've heard it all, and they're doing it, and I don't know anything about it, but people are getting on the onlines and using the internets and the interwebs to create money out of nothing, and it's a big thing, and it's taking over, and we're gonna use it to fucking boost up the economy. Let's go crypto. I don't understand it, to be honest with you, but I don't understand a lot of things, and it hasn't stopped me from being here today and doing life. So there. That doesn't mean anything. The point is that these crypto bros and there's a fella out there whose son is a crypto bro, millionaire in France. He's a father. He's a crypto daddy. His son is a crypto bro. He gets kidnapped. The father gets kidnapped. The kidnappers ask for money from the crypto bro, and they chopped off this fella's fingers, man. They chopped off his fingers. A crypto bro has got crypto daddy missing fingers. I heard that, because I'm like, oh, I don't have a dad, but I could imagine if he was missing fingers and I had crypto, be a completely different life, be completely different, but nonetheless, I imagine my dad missing fingers, and it made me just, like, Dad, I'm missing fingers, but mostly just, father figures and whatnot. It's too late now. You're all grown up. It's time to be your own dad. Sex hostage 75, no lube. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that I saw this and I'm just like, yo, how do we save these crypto daddies? First of all, if you come into new wealth, to prepare yourself, because this is new money, it's overnight money. A lot of this shit is just overnight money. People go in with like, you know, 2 raw ducks and they trade it online for like a goat, and it turns into a meme coin, and all of a sudden you're a billionaire. New money, new responsibilities, son. You must get yourself some security, okay? Get that security. I'm talking lasers, I'm talking guns, I'm talking alarms, I'm talking put a bell around your dad's neck, okay? I know you got a whole new yacht with new bitches and all that shit. It's about to be popping in Ibiza. It's happening all over this. It's happening in France, in Spain. It's a whole lot of kidnappings apparently, or at least some. I don't know the numbers enough to make it a news article, which got me interested. I like kidnappings. I like stories about crime. I'm just like, how do we stop it? We need to do better security. Is to, make sure your mansion has got like a nice fence, some tall bushes. You know what I'm talking about? Some Scandinavian ladies with some tall bushes. Otherwise, get like infrared, get lasers, get mines. You can have landmines. If it's your property, you should be able to have landmines for intruders, or at least like not totally devastating landmines. Maybe landmines. How about landmines? Get landmines where they just like lay flat in the grass and then they're intruder on the grass. Landmine right there. Fucking stick him in a box and just trap him in. But nonetheless, just thinking of ideas. Give your dad extra fingers, because there's apparently a whole thing with removing fingers. So give your dad, attach maybe like 5-6 extra fingers should he come across a kidnapper who's into chopping off fingers. So that way if he loses any, he technically end up with, at least the same number of fingers, which is nice. Give him like extra thumbs. Don't maybe like be all like on the social. I know when people gets the monies, they want to be like fucking on the social medias, like spurt. Do a little bit, which is not, because like, yeah, you fucking whatever, you worked hard, or like you hardly work, but nonetheless you got the money. And I get it, you want to like show it off a little bit, like don't show off so much so to attract but then you should be free to show off as much as you want. So fucking show it off. Maybe get 2 dads, maybe get a backup, maybe get a fake dad, have that guy be kidnapped. If it happens to be that these kidnappers are an all-female gang, maybe you'd like somebody to step in there, be swapped up for your dad, be a sex hostage. Just connect the dots, just saying, somebody is avails. But that's apparently happening. So just, giving out ideas. If you've got a better idea how to save these crypto daddies from their crypto bros, wealths, and the lifestyle that comes with it, fucking get AIDS, bro. Nobody attacks anybody with AIDS. I'm telling you right now, you get some fresh AIDS, just get some fresh AIDS, bro. Just be walking around with scabs and AIDS, just pussing. Maybe have like a little sign sticking out of you, with a little sticker that says AIDS, this guy, AIDS. So, just trying my best. It's a lot all over the place, but it's that's what it is. Crime is, we're playing fucking whack-a-mole with this shit. I do want you to feel at ease. I want everybody to calm down, relax, take a deep breath. I know it's been a difficult time over the past few days, past few weeks maybe. It's not been easy on a lot of people on the internet. In real life, people have been talking, chit-chatting. Children getting scared, the elderly going home early, men no longer going to the bar after work, rushing back to their families because they're not sure what will come tomorrow. Apparently there is a gorilla, or there was, I should say, there was a gorilla out there in the wild, on the streets, that was wreaking havoc all over the place, really scaring everybody. And people have been talking online, you might have heard of it. They're like, how many of us does it take to take down this gorilla? Apparently, everybody, the brightest minds came together, and roughly 100 men was the number that we came up with. We said maybe it'll take 100 men to take down this wild gorilla that's just terrorizing neighborhoods, going from country to country, from city to city, from neighborhood to neighborhood, just being a menace to society. And I said, you know what? Rest up, fellas. Rest up. I went and took care of it. I want you to just don't think about it anymore. It's taken care of. How did I do it? Well, first of all, I knew we were dealing with one male gorilla. How do you entice a male gorilla? Let's just say Daddy got in a little suit and disguised himself as a female gorilla who's in heat. Maybe ovulating even. And I found this gorilla and it was just tossing men around, just eating children head first and, finding women with big booties and just biting their juicy tits and just, not in a fun way either, and just, again, wreaking havoc all over the place. And I said, hey, gorilla, good, come get some of this. And I turned around and flashed my female gorilla ass to this male gorilla. The male gorilla approached me. We engaged in gorilla sex for a few days. I won him over eventually, led him to believe that this is an ongoing relationship. I think he fell in love with me. And that part if I'm being completely honest, I am human, just like many of you out there. There's a heart inside me. Walls around it, of course. It's protective walls. Fucking protective, but nonetheless, it comes down every now and again. And yeah, his little black eyes made contact with my little black eyes. It's like brown eyes, but whatever. And we had a moment. This, in the midst of all the lovemaking, fed me bananas, which was kind of cute, not gonna lie. Fed me bananas, which was fucking cute. I was riding on top most of the time, if anybody was wondering, I was riding on top most of the time. I did not get any pleasure out of it. I knew, again, it was one of those instances where humanity was at danger. I had to step up. And again, the lovemaking went on for many a days. We got a nice little cave I was actually pretty secluded, nice and quiet, really. Got to be in touch with nature and a whole bunch of other sides of myself that I didn't even know existed, like loving nature to a certain degree. That I thought I liked nature, but I love nature apparently. And yeah, that went on for about 5 to 7 business days. And then one day, a group of people happened to be walking by, and all of a sudden this gorilla who I had made love with saw the group of people, maybe about 100 men who could count at that time. Adrenaline was pumping, emotions were high. People wanted answers. The police chief wanted answers. The mayor needed answers. The public was getting anxious. You don't want this to just continue to unravel, of course. Social discontent, people rising up, stock market crashing, businesses going down, curfew, martial law. These are all the factors that may have come into play, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I said, you know what, enough is enough, gorilla. And I ripped my female gorilla costume off myself, asshole and all, bearing it all. I said, you want some of this? Come get some of this. Ooga booga, ooga booga. I did it just like that. And I said, you want some of these hands? Come get some of these hands. And I said, with my bare hands, I said, bare hands, activate, bare hands, activate, bare hands, activate. They remained to be the same hands. I didn't get bare hands, despite the fact that I was yelling and looking at my hands. I'm like, bare hands, bare hands. It happened a few other times where I said bare hands activate and my hands turned into bare hands. But nonetheless, I grabbed the bear and we wrestled. I grabbed his thick neck and I tossed him into a car. And then he got up and tossed the car right at me. I caught the car, put the car down gently. It was a nice car, brand new. I could just smell the whole interior of the car. I said, it's okay. It's all right, despite the fact that you're just a piece of machine. Everybody sees you as just a piece of machine. I know there's more to it than that. said, enough is enough, gorilla. I speared him. I speared the gorilla, and then I just fucking dropped an elbow, grabbed his head, smashed him. There was children crying in the distance, the women screaming, get him, get him. And I'm like, oh, here, smashed his head into the ground, and then took a piece of rock and smashed his head with a rock, and then worked his midsection a little bit too, and then nurpled his fucking nipples right there too, and then kick him in the nuts. I kicked him in the nuts, and I said, all that love making, it was all a ruse. This doesn't anything. And I saw a little tear just kind of go down one eye, and I low-key, again, I am not made of stone. In the heat of things, I too may have shed a tear. Certain words were exchanged with the said gorilla, but it was necessary after all. Can't be coming in here and just fighting men, scaring children and women and the elderly. So I killed the gorilla single-handedly, one person. Apparently that's all it took. Just one really, I don't want to, it's all right. You would have done the same. You would have done the same. And I'm just putting it out there. Just want you to believe in yourself. If you are thinking, my goodness, it's going to take 100 of us to take down a gorilla or any other ferocious animal, or a lion or a tiger, who knows, a crocodile. How many men does it take? All it takes is you and the ability to believe in yourself. Do not wait for others to show up. Fight your own battles. I killed the gorilla, and I took off his head, and I impaled it, and I stuck it beside a Starbucks so that people could see, and that the other gorillas could see too, or at least hear about it. And the message has been sent. And the message, the moral of the story is that don't let the numbers game get in your head. Just if there's a beast out there, fight it. I believe in you. You're like, I don't think I got that. You got this. You see an animal in the wild, attack it first. Attack the animal first. If you see gorillas in the wild, I want you to take initiative. Crocodiles, same shit. It's summer season. I know sharks are going to be a big... Yes, it's summer. Sharks is, those two, summer and sharks go hand in hand, despite the fact that none of these two things really even have hands. I mean, sharks have fins. Summer is just doesn't even have a body, but whatever. It goes hand in hand. Nonetheless, if you see a shark, attack the shark. If you see any venomous creature with venom, attack it. You can take him on. The gorillas now have an understanding of what is out there. But I'm telling you right now, no matter how big or small you are, attack the large gorilla, and it's just about mentality. Just telling yourself, you know what, I'm gonna win at the end of the day, and just keep going with that. Just attack first, attack first. That's what I say. Attack first. But this one's dead though, so you no longer need to worry about it. Everybody can go back to their regular lives and pretend like nothing even happened. Stock market saved. Housing market also saved. You're welcome. Giving back. I believe we are returning to Alcatraz, ladies and gentlemen. Alcatraz is reopening up. I'm super excited about this because I like prisons in movies, and in not so much in real life, but in movies I do enjoy a good prison, which you can get into, either enter the prison or break away from it. Hence, Prison Break. I did not watch that series. It was apparently a really good series about the whole Prison Break. I believe the tattoos of this man had the map of the whole plan of this. I don't know, to be honest. It was a man with a tattoo, and maybe the prison escape plan was tattooed on his body. I don't know. I don't know the details. That's as much as I know. But I know the Alcatraz prison was opened up a long time ago, and then it closed down some time ago, and then it's in the middle. It's roughly 1.5 miles away from San Francisco, in the middle of the water, right there in the Pacific. Just just one of the, for notorious prisons. And I believe it's reopening up again, which means we are returning to Alcatraz. It got me excited about, because I believe there was a movie too, if I'm not mistaken, with Clint Eastwood, Escape from Alcatraz. I think that's what it was called. I watched it a long time ago. But it was a beautiful movie. Escaping for it got me to think. I'm like, oh man, what if you get life in prison and you are stuck in Alcatraz? Return to Alcatraz. Dirty Harry. Like dirty spelled the same way, but like Harry, H-A-I-R-Y. Dirty, and he's hairy. Dirty Harry returns to Alcatraz. This time there won't be any shampoo. Dirty Harry, he likes his dirt and he likes his hair. Dirty Harry, before he got into prison, he loved to munch on puss with lots of hair. Dirty Harry walks around barefoot. Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry never bathes. Dirty Harry only takes dives in the river. Dirty Harry, he's dirty and hairy. Man, I'm just letting you know, I would like to make an attempt to break into a prison and also an attempt to break out. It's always many of dreams that I've had. I have many dreams. Like you out there, you get it. You know what it's like to want to break in to an allegedly place that's not easily broken into. Oh, I'd love to just just jump in a shark-infested body of water, punch a couple of sharks in the nose and just grab onto them and just do intercourse with the shark and be like, you're my bitch now in the water. You're my bitch in the water now, son. Just make the other sharks kind of run away scared. I'll bite the shark and there's blood in the water and they're all confused. They're like, do we attack this guy or do we kind of back off? Back off, you son of a bitch, back off. But nonetheless, I like to, what if we took it together, what if collectively we got stuck in Alcatraz or any other high security prison in the middle of the ocean that is hard to escape from? Two scenarios. One, you get stuck there for life. What position would you take as the now prisoner that's gotten life? And what role would I take? What role would I take in prison? First, and I would like to, I'd like to, if I'm there for life, I'd like to be the guy who mingles with everyone when if there's a new guy that comes in, if he needs advice on how to survive the prison or jail, I'd maybe, look after him and be like, don't hang around with that guy, or they're gonna try to initiate you in this gang, don't get initiated. That's the Aryan Brotherhood. That's the Muslim Brotherhood. That's the Mexican Brotherhood. That's the triads or whatever. I don't know. I got to learn these things myself. Nonetheless, I'd be a guy that's kind of what would my job be in the? I'd probably cook. It'd be nice to cook, and I'd be in the kitchen area. I'd work with knives. They trust me with the knives. I'd be cooking and serving people healthy, nutritious food because I care. Maybe at the library a little bit. Maybe a couple of I'll hand out books that I'd hand out book recommendations to a couple of the inmates. I'd probably bench press a little bit just at the yard. Pants, no top, bench pressing, that'll be my thing. I'll do that a lot. I'll bench press a lot. Not because I'm there a lot. I'm there for life. I'm going to be benching a lot. That's what I'm saying. I'll build up to it eventually. I like to learn to tattoo inside the prison. I like to tattoo other prisoners. That'd be something I'd probably get into. This is a lot of time. If you're doing life, you got to learn a couple of tricks. You got to learn a couple of hobbies. I'd love to also be involved. I'd like to be involved in everything, to be honest with you. I'm not going to just take one position. I like to be involved in the goods and services that are coming in and leaving the prison. Sneaking a couple of cell phones via rectum. Just not my rectum, but I'll see to it that cell phones, flip phones, are placed in rectums and then disposed of through the rectum as well, and then extract it and then rinse. Not me. I'll overlook it. I'll overlook it. Rinse it well. Rinse it well. It should be in a Ziploc bag. I hope that it's not just like straight up cell phone in the butt, because that'll be a shitty cell phone. And it's hard to go, like if it gets in the cracks, man, that is really hard. Between the buttons, it's very difficult. And also, like, you know, if it's not, if things get too rough and we want to break out, I can maybe probably like team up with like 1 or 2 people. You want to keep the circle tight. You want to keep so you can't let everybody know. Sure, everybody likes to skate, but how many people can you trust? It's a prison. Every day could be your last. I'm good at tying knots and stuff. I think like decent, not the best, but like maybe I'll work that way. This is why I need to rotate. I can't just have one job. I've got to work the laundry too. Every once in a while, I'll take a pillow cover, you know, just steal one every month, every other month. Just keep stealing. Over the years, it'll add up. I can rip it into pieces and make a rope out of it. And again, maybe we could get like a little, you know, just something like, you know, I'll sharpen a spoon and just fucking start chiseling away at the wall, at the bars. I don't know. So many questions. I'd love to do it as a challenge. Maybe with like a given limit, you know, maybe with like a limited amount of time, and then break out of this prison within like, you know, a year and a half. You need some time. You can't just do it 3 months. I don't know. It's all exciting. Alcatraz is reopening. It just got me excited. I'm not excited overall with like, but there are some people who do need to be put in prison. There is that too. So you can't fucking, it's not easy decisions, but it is nice to know that it's opening up. It's out there. Apparently going to be opening up for, you know, the most, you know, horrendous violent criminals out there. And sometimes good people get caught up in bad situations, like Dirty Harry, who's just at the wrong place at the wrong time, being his dirty Harry self. Things can happen. You never know. Passing cell phones butt to butt, and I you know, if need be, we need to do it, dude. You need to fucking take a cell phone up the butt, pass the cell phone to another butt. You never know. Learn to braid hair. These are all the things that I'm looking to do. Should it ever? I don't want it to, obviously. I don't want it for you either. I'm just saying how, because it's beautiful. It's a historical piece of history, right? It's not just a prison, but it's, you know, it's in pop culture. It's in a lot of tourists go visit it. A lot of people. It's beautiful. It's nice. But I like to end on this. I just like to say that I've, you know, a lot of people think that you got to do something crazy or extraordinary to do, you know, something big. But I'd like to just highlight one person who has not gotten any recognition as far as I'm concerned. And it came from a seemingly small invention. I believe the year is 1790, or maybe we could go back a little bit, even a little bit prior to that. Maybe it's like 1785-ish. Where are we? We're in the UK, mate. Crikey, mate. We're in the UK, mate. That's it's a banger and smash. That's a top hat right there. We're in England. We're in the UK. It's the year 1790. Or rather 1785. People are walking around. There's like a king and a queen, I'm assuming, probably, right? And there's peasantry as well. And there's people on the streets having sex on the streets, probably. Not all of them, but some definitely having sex. Like, the ladies with the layered skirts, and they just lifted up one leg on like a little, you know, just a pile of garbage, and she's lifted a leg, and there's a fella and some, like, you know, just a ripped clothing, but like fucking standing up, vertical fucking. That's in the public, and there's like, you know, there's like people walking by too. There's horses, dogs, there's gypsies. Who knows? There's a lot of stuff. There's smoke. There's smoke in London. I don't know much, but you know, just trying to imagine a time. It's 1785. It's rough out there. And guess what? You look below, and people on their feet have got shoes with regular shoelaces. And guess what? At the time, prior to 1790, allegedly, according to the records that I was able to find, shoelaces did not come with what we now take for granted, known as aglets. The sheath that goes at the end of these shoelaces that make it easier to navigate shoeing and wearing shoes and, you know, having proper shoelaces and whatnot. People would just use loose pieces of string, maybe like leather here and there, and the tip of their shoelaces were torn. They were tripping and falling to their faces, getting injured, breaking face bones, and not having modern technology and science to help them out. So they were just battered, beaten down by the harsh realities of the times. And guess what? One man named Harvey Kennedy in 1790, after years of dedication and research, he finally decided to go and invent this shoelace aglet or aglet. Aglet, the thing that goes, the sheath that goes at the end of your shoelaces. At the time, he used things like, I don't know, to be exact, nobody really knows. It's hard to find information on certain small, seemingly small things. You're like, why would you focus on this small, minuscule thing? Small, minuscule thing, you said. I'm glad you said that, small, minuscule, my cock. It's true. It seems small and minuscule, but the invention of the aglet actually raised this man's fortune in the 1790s to $2.5 million or shekels or whatever the currency was at the time, pounds, whatever they were using at the time. 2.5 million at the time, equivalent of billions of, this guy became a billionaire in his time for simply putting a sheath covering at the end of the shoelace and saying, walk free, my people, walk free. No longer will you be tripping over your stupid untied shoes with no aglets and worn out shoelaces looking like regular peasants. And people, guess what? Initially people are like, oh, nobody's ever gonna buy your shoelace aglets. Harvey Kennedy, he was in his mid-30s when he came up with that invention. Couldn't find out whether or not he had kids or was even married. Doesn't matter. The point is, he was a billionaire from shoe aglets. The thing that the sheath covering at the end of your shoelace, it's amazing. Just got to me. I don't know. Just made me realize that there's so many opportunities out there, and you could be you out there. Why you beautiful puss face, dick face, you beautiful cock jaw. It could be you. I'm telling you, the shoelace aglet is just an example of people taking small little initiatives and say, you know what, maybe a little piece of tin or copper at the end of the shoelaces, or maybe we could even dip them in wax and twirl them around and just make them a little bit neat and tidy for them so that they're not, you know, all torn and shredded at the end, making you look like an idiot, and then again, making you trip and fall, and making it so difficult to put in the holes of the shoe. So there you go, ladies. I just wanted to say that there is always room for more. And again, it might not seem like a big thing, but trust me, in 1790, this motherfucker was basically, he was like a Rockefeller. He was like an Elon Musk at the time. He was like a Zuckerberg. He was like a Steve Jobs at the time. I know it might not seem like a big deal right now, us fucking walking around with shoelaces and aglets, and everybody's like, oh, I never even thought about it, but somebody had to make it. So there you go. You could be the next Harvey Kennedy. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you again back here on Friday. Peace out. Get out of here.